want to take a couple minutes to talk about 3CX and the security issues that we've seen over the past week with this software. So 3CX is a PBX software. So think 20 years back, we would have business phone systems that would be installed by a company, and they would essentially come into your business, run some wiring, install some sort of a brain unit somewhere in a back closet, and wire that up to all the telephones on your desk. And at the end of the day, you can put calls on hold, transfer calls, have voicemail for a large number of people. That's what a PBX does. So somewhere along the line, of course, computers taking over everything, they found ways to make a computer a PBX. And 3CX Software is one of the software companies out there in the world that has produced some of that software and has produced a product that a lot of people use. And I'm very concerned about it. Not just because, I'm an IT guy, but because I know that there is a significant number of these systems in my local area. In fact, let's take a look at the 3CX partner page. Right here, it shows that we have two silver partners in Presque Isle alone. Silver partners would be, a partner that has hit a certain sales goal that is obviously, a couple tiers up from the bottom, the bronze and the beginner tiers. So to have a couple of silver partners in Presque Isle, Maine is a pretty big deal. That means that this software is very, very prevalent in the Presque Isle area. So that's what concerns me. So if you are, have phone systems in your business that have been installed by these two companies, you should be reaching out to them immediately and asking for remediation, which means that, we'll get into that. The first article that I had seen yesterday, so on March 29th, Falcon Overwatch is a security company. They observed unexpected malicious activity emanating from a legitimate signed binary. A binary is a program that runs on your computer. This one's called the 3CX Desktop App, a software application from 3CX. So let's take a look at what that looks like. If you have 3CX on your workstation, on your computer, it is going to look something like this right here. It has the 3CX logo in the upper left-hand corner. You have people, contacts, chat, call history. This is an app that sits in the taskbar in the bottom right-hand corner. You can usually click on this button and see all your taskbar icons. 3CX will liable, if you have it, is going to be one of those icons down there. This software here, this is what is the problem. It's not actually the software that's on the 3CX server itself that's on your network. It's mostly this, but there are some additional details that I'll add on later. So essentially what happened is 3CX programmers are designing this software, but they, like all other programmers, use third-party components to increase the functionality of their product. If you see an animation in a program, or if you click on a button and it behaves a certain way, that may have been designed by 3CX, but it also may have been designed by a third party that just builds that little effect and then sells it to another company like 3CX. The issue here is that 3CX is partnered with a company and are using components from that company, and that particular company got their components infected. What happened is that they have a server that is serving this file, their products out as needed as people download them, and that server got compromised, and thus anybody, any other third party that is using their components is going to, inadvertently infect their customers and cause a security issue. So that's fine, whatever. It is what it is, it happens all the time. The difference is how 3CX is handling this. They aren't handling it well at all. And you should be very, very concerned about this. even if we get past this, the attitude at 3CX is not good. Let's take a look at that. So the guy that runs 3CX, his name is Nick Galea. He's younger. He's a younger guy from London, and he has basically been in IT a very, very long time. You can go back and take a look at some of his activities, and he's got some certifications from Microsoft. It looks like at one point in time that he did some IT research for a school. None of that's really important, but he is a younger guy in business, and all of a sudden his business is incredibly threatened. So there's different people in the world, and they react differently to issues, and Nick is not taking this well at all. So it was reported on Reddit, which is a large chat forum. And guys like me in the IT world like to go on to the MSP forum for managed service providers and the VoIP forum for voice over IP providers. And yesterday in the forum for VoIP, it was noted that Nick Galea had made some, very interesting comments. So essentially, this is a customer that emailed Nick directly to complain, and Nick immediately emailed him back that they should find another product and leave us to try and fix this matter. So, obviously, yesterday and the day before were a bad day for Nick, but Nick isn't handling it well. There are a lot of different posts in IT forums that I look at and I read on a daily basis. Welcome to the Banned by Nick G Club. I'll never use 3CX again. So these... just another reason why I'll never use 3CX again. These are IT folks. Every person in this thread is an IT provider or works for an IT provider. And they are very, very, very concerned that Nick Galea, the owner of 3CX, is not taking this seriously. He's lashing out at people that are asking for help and not being very communicative with the community. About 3CX remediation. What are we recommending, and what are other security professionals recommending? Well, this was posted 20 hours ago. This was posted 20 hours ago to the MSP forum. I'm sure this is discussed in other posts and subreddits, but if you had users that were running the compromised copies of the software, at the very least, those user accounts should all have mandatory password resets. I agree. Any site where credential harvesting could have occurred from the Chrome or Edge extension from 3CX should have a password reset. And if you don't have multi-factor authentication set up, we would recommend that you do so right away. You have to invalidate any persistence tokens for sites like Office 365 or Google. These tokens can circumvent MFA on other sites. What does this mean? It means that if you have the 3CX desktop app on your computer, and you also have persistence tokens for sites that you have recently logged into, like your Office 365 site to check your email or your Gmail, and those persistence tokens still exist on your computer, the infection in the 3CX desktop app is going to find that persistence token, share it with its creators, and then they have the ability to crack your Gmail account or your Microsoft account, even if it's protected by 2FA. They can crack it with this information that they've harvested from your computers. And if anybody is using Azure, enable high-risk security conditional access. So this is if your vendor is running 3CX in the Microsoft Azure cloud service. They have started to make some changes as well. One of these other articles that I was looking at earlier as well This article from Bleeping Computer shows that the hackers compromised the 3CX desktop app in a supply chain attack. Supply chain as in, the third party that wrote the component that 3CX uses in their desktop app that then got infected and then infected all of the 3CX customers out there. The company's list includes American Express, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, BMW, Honda, Air France, Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, IKEA, and the UK's National Health Service. And they actually published an alert on Thursday. On one of these other tabs, right here, 3CX has been removed from the Azure marketplace. That means that Microsoft, who owns Azure, has basically forbidden 3CX to be installed on its cloud services. This is unprecedented. For Microsoft to come out and say, we're not going to allow you to install a particular piece of software on our servers, game over. It's done. So because of the lack response from 3CX, most security providers are recommending that you move away from 3CX as soon as possible. In other words, get it out of your network, remove it, replace it with something different, because they're not convinced that in the future 3CX has a security stance that is going to keep you safe. That's what that means. Nobody trusts 3CX anymore in the IT world. Nobody. And if you're using it on your networks, you need to take action right away.